Okay guys, this is it. Number 6. Hopefully the last one in this little mini series. And I am going to open up one of these folders that I spoke about in video number 5 so that I can show you this calendar that I mentioned. What I use as a calendar is a rather curious device. I'm not gonna lie. It's an interesting thing, and I have heard others refer to it as a circle calendar, and understandably why. Because it's a circle. Now this was April. I know it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense right now, but give me a second to explain here. Most calendars are square. And for a dyslexic person, this can be something of a nightmare. Because you're standing there, you're trying to find next weekend, and for some reason, you keep finding a different weekend altogether. Because you're at the end of the line, and then you gotta go to the beginning of the next week, and you just totally miss one entire week. And it doesn't click until the mistake is already made, and maybe you've booked something wrong, or you've given someone the incorrect date for an event. Who knows? But at any rate, it's frustrated me quite a lot. And then somebody, I don't remember who, from YouTube, another channel, presented this idea, and I thought, wow, I want to do this. I love it. It takes the nonsense out of trying to read a calendar. It makes it so much more simple. What I've done is I have selected a 32 in total segment circle and then placed an image in the middle. Now this one, I'm going to get in a little bit close here. This one was from April 2019. There's not a lot of information here, so I don't mind sharing. I hope you can see this properly. Oh, the sun has a bit of glare there. But these little bits of information here that are on the side, those are dates. And I always start with the first of the month, just there. And that will be on, hold on, I'm just getting things in my head, that will be on the right-hand side of the central axis of the circle. Making sense? So if I say that's the central axis, that's the right-hand side. At least when I'm looking at it, it is. So it goes all the way around, and then the 30th or 31st, so that'll be about where most months end, will be here, and then you'll have a blank slot here, and if there's something important, sorry I'm stammering a lot right now, if there's an important date that falls on the first of the next month, not a problem, you can just fit that into that blank little slot. Further inside the circle you can see Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, Saturday. Yeah, I've got all of those listed. Yes, I can say them backwards. Sorry, I know. I sound like a complete nerd. Yeah, so there they are. The days. And Thursday is an R, so that way I can identify it differently from Tuesday. That's just something that I picked up when I was in my late teens, and I loved it, so I just kept it. I'm sorry if this video is a little bit rough. When I get close in, I have trouble knowing what you guys can see, and so I have to keep checking in the screen here to see what's going on. So I do apologize if I'm not acting how I normally would in my videos. Here we also see that there's some color identification going on. Those different colorations are part of a system that I set up at the beginning back in 2018 when I set up all of that notebook system. So what I did was I selected specific colors so I would know, okay, this is definitely this is definitely that. And then if anything else happens to fall into that same pendant or segment of that month, I can just write it in. This system is great. It prevents me from overbooking myself, and I can see my entire month at a glance in a nice sort of flowchart style. at the same time, I've also got this, so this has almost made these obsolete, which is why I had to go all the way back to April, because I just haven't really needed them since I had this system set up. However, now that the event season has kind of come to a close, and now it's the off season for performing, I will probably go back to using these because they're prettier, they're a lot more fun, and I will see if they come back in handy or if I still end up using this more frequently even though it's the off season, because I don't need to carry this around. This is something that can just sit at home right there beside my desktop, and I don't have to go digging through my bags to find this thing if I don't want to. It can stay in my travel case, and that's fine until I intend to write something in it, and I'm quite happy with that. So what I've done is literally adhered. When I first started doing these, I just had a sheet of paper that had the month and the year printed at the top and bottom, and then I would adhere a circle with a design in the middle on that piece of paper that I had printed. And that was it. There are a lot more creative ways to put these things together, obviously, and I will go into more detail another time on how to do that. For me, it was a rather complex situation because I wanted something that looked really professional, and so this being one of the first ones that I made wasn't so professional, but you get that. So anyway, thanks for watching. That was the last of the series. I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope it's been educational, and yeah, I look forward to you guys hanging about and watching for the more detailed descriptions, as I said earlier. And if there is a style of journaling that maybe you would like to know more about that I haven't covered here, probably one that I don't normally use, I will do my best to do a video on that should you want that. But not having found a use for it myself, I don't know if I'll actually be that much of a help in that sense, but I'm quite willing to do some of the hunting for you so that way you don't have to, because there's this sea of information out there and it can get so overwhelming, and I totally understand. So I'm definitely here to help. Catch you later, and hope this helps. Cheers.